Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing? I don't know why I started it off like that. I've just been watching a lot of popular YouTubers recently, so I don't know why I started off like that, okay? So leave me alone. Anyway, as you guys so desperately wanted, I will be dropping 20 minutes worth of my OC's lore. I mean, yeah, there's not much going on with this particular OC I'm drawing, because she kind of died early, okay? Like, maybe when I do a commentary on my main OC, then, like, if you guys want me to, I would love to, like, talk for an hour about her, because I love her so much. My OC, okay? I just basically gave this OC I'm drawing right now a whole glow up because her old design is not it. Anyway, I've been talking for a long time. That was a very long intro. So I'm just gonna talk about her lore now. Malory Vince is who I'm drawing right now. That's her name. That's who she is. Okay, so she started out as a young child, obviously, and my main OC's mother. So my main OC is named Annie, okay? There's gonna be 3 people in this lore story that you need to remember their names of: Annie, Malory, and Odette, okay? So Malory is who I'm drawing right now. She'll be the main character of this story, not the main character of the general story. Annie is her sister. Annie's mom adopted Malory, if that makes sense. And then Odette is just the villain. Of course, she has to do something with Malory. R.I.P. So Malory is saved somehow. I don't know how she came into existence. She was just a being, okay? So Malory, as a young child, she was saved by Annie's mom, okay? So Annie's mom, like, drags Malory into the house. Like, 5-year-old Malory into the house, right? And so Annie's mom is on the brink of death. And so Annie's mom's last wish to Annie is to protect Malory for the rest of her life, no matter what happens. So Annie does just that, okay? Annie is like the more sporty, kind of tomboyish, girly, and then Malory is more like girly and pink, like your stereotypical twins or siblings or something. So Malory is younger. Malory is actually 13 in this story, because she's just 13, okay? So Malory over here, she skipped a grade, right? She skipped a grade because she's supposed to be in 7th grade, right? And her sister Annie forced her to skip a grade because she was bullied in like the first couple of weeks of 7th grade. So Annie wanted her to be safe, and she was smart enough to skip a grade, so it just all worked out. So back to when they were children, Annie and Malory, they lived alone because both her mother and their father died. Yeah, they died. And so Annie, as a young, 8-year-old child, tries her best to take care of Malory and love her and raise her and all that good stuff. So one day in their tiny little cabin out in the forest, someone in masked clothing walks into the house with holding a knife. And so the first thing that Annie does is protect Malory. Yeah. So Annie gets stabbed 8 times and she's on the brink of death. She's sliced in half, Gojo style. Yeah. She's basically dead at this point. And so, like, an angel just comes, and then, like, an angel comes. And then the angel asks Malory, who is sobbing over her, like, nearly dead sister, "Do you want to save your sister?" And then Malory is like, "Of course I want to save my sister. She's about to die." And so the angel was like, "Okay, in order to save your sister, you must make a contract with me. And the contract is that when you turn 14 years old, you will die." And then Malory is like, "Yes, I will make that sacrifice for my older sister. She's done so much for me already. So I will sacrifice my life." And so Annie is just suddenly healed because the angel, like, healed her, right? And then they live a happy life as, like, normal children. They're growing up, going into teenage years. Annie takes such good care of Malory. Annie loves Malory, okay? Like, as a sibling. Like, they are so close with each other. Like, they love each other, and, like, it's just so happy. I really love their dynamic, honestly. And so after they meet all their friends, because they're in a friend group of 5, I will not be talking about the friend group right now, but they're all my OCs. Like, all of my age group middle schooler OCs, right? And one thing they all have in common is that they're basically all motherless. They're all dead. I mean, like, one of my OCs has a father, which is kind and loving. Yeah. But that's quite off topic. So Malory is kind of useless. Yeah, because all my other OCs, they have weapons. They can fight. But Malory, she can't do nothing, okay? She literally cannot fight. She is that weak, okay? She's literally built like Miku. What do you expect her to do? Like, seriously. So she uses her nerdy brains, because obviously she's your stereotypical nerd. She uses her nerdiness to plan out strategies for her friends so that they can get revenge on Odette, who is the villain who killed their parents. So Malory is basically the mastermind behind everything. By the way, I'm just showing, like, the time lapse here, so I'm just going to continue talking through it. So on Malory's 14th birthday, Annie and the rest of her friends throw a big party, and, like, they're having fun. And then Annie swoops Malory away to go into a little store so that they can do, like, fake shopping or whatever they want to do, or something along those lines. Because Annie set up a little store where they have, like, fake money, and they can act like kids again because their childhood was robbed from them. I don't know why that was so aggressive. So after they do their fun little shopping spree in, like, a makeshift shop that you actually don't spend money at, Malory sits down at a table, and so does Annie, and they start talking. And then Malory says how she made a contract with an angel. Malory's like, "That day when we were children, I made a contract with an angel, but now that I look back on it, I think it's Odette." And Odette is the main villain, by the way. Okay, she's like the only villain. So, yeah. And then Annie is all shocked, and then Annie gets, like, mad, like big sister mad. Like, how could you make a contract with Odette? Are you stupid or something? Like, you're gonna die, and then you're gonna die because of me. And then Annie is just heartbroken and sad. She doesn't know how to feel. because when the clock strikes midnight, Malory will die. So Annie was just heartbroken. She didn't know what to do. And she just sat there, and this was everything crumbling down, because if you remember, her mother had asked her to do one more thing before she died, to protect Malory no matter what. And Malory was gonna die right in front of her face in like 30 minutes. Oh, and by the way, if the video recording, like the time lapse of me just drawing, like skips in some places, that's because I forgot to record in some places. So I don't know which now, because I'm too lazy to go back and look at it, so leave me alone. So anyway, back to the story. Like, Malory is confused. She's shaken up. She's like starting to cry because the reality of her about to die is just hitting her in the face. And so they just spend the last few minutes holding each other before it all comes to an end. Malory says, "I didn't know the angel I made a contract with was actually that evil woman, Odette." And Annie starts to blame herself. Like, it wasn't your fault. I just should have, like, healed faster. I shouldn't have gotten stabbed 8 times and turned into Gojo. Like, it's not your fault. It's mine. And then it's just back and forth of them, like, crying and stuff. And so, when the clock strikes midnight, Malory says her last words. Can anyone guess what her last words were? Well, I'm just gonna tell you. And I quote, "Thank you for everything, Annie. I'm so glad you're able to be my sister." And tears were streaming down her face as she said these words. "I don't want to die. I don't want to..." And then she exploded. R.I.P. Yeah, right in front of Annie. Annie, who swore to protect Malory for the rest of her life. The person who she was still alive for was now gone, and it was all because of her. Annie felt so heartbroken. She didn't know how to feel. I just said that she felt heartbroken. Oh my god. Anyway, she was feeling very confused and sad and just terrible. But one feeling stood out more than the rest. She wanted revenge. Revenge is what she wanted more than anything else in the entire world. Her sister could not just die like that. And it was all Odette's fault. Honestly, her logic is kind of stupid, but, you know, she's our cliche hero, okay? So, as Annie picks up Malory's limp body, she sought out to delete Odette from existence. Not the stuttering, oh my god. And then, after the revenge was in her brain for like 3 seconds, all Annie could feel was guilt and sadness. As she carries Malory's body in the rain, she's just struck with grief and she collapses on the sidewalk. I'm going to stop right there for now, okay? Because we're going to talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. That was so unfair. You know that I'm not getting any sponsors, okay? So I'm going to be answering a question that I accidentally skipped in my last Speedpaint. Like, I'm so sorry. I had it in my script and everything, but I managed to accidentally skip it. I think it's because the answer is really small and then, like, I'm kind of blind. So, like, I'm sorry. You know who you are if you're watching this video and then, like, you're wondering why didn't you do your question, like, last time. Like, I just skipped it. I'm so sorry. I didn't forget. Like, I realized after I posted the video and stuff. Okay, so the question was when I first started YouTube. I don't think that's the exact question, but just reading off the script that I made last time. So, if some of you guys know, I don't think most of you guys know this, but I had a channel before this channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you it, but basically I posted like art, gacha videos, and like videos of my face in it. Yeah, it was my first channel ever. I had it like 6 years ago. No, it wasn't 6 years ago, it was more like 5 years ago, because like I started it in 2019, and then it took like 4 years for me to get 100 subscribers, and then I unsubscribed from that channel, and so now I have 98 subscribers on that channel. But yeah, I started off with that channel. It was really bad. Okay, that was terrible. Never again. My art was terrible. The gacha videos were terrible. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. And if you know what channel I'm talking about, do not put the name in the comments. Anyway, I used all that trial and error to start fresh because I just had to, because it was really bad. I was like, I cannot save this channel. So I just started a new channel like last year. And then I already have 100 subscribers already. Like, wait, why I say 100? I'm like at 200 subscribers now. Like, thank you everyone. Anyway, as I started that old channel in 2019, it was also in 2019, like around when COVID hit, when I started to like take drawing seriously, because I was drawing on loose paper at the time. Like, I didn't have a sketchbook. I didn't have something to draw with, like, professionally, like officially. So I got a sketchbook. I forced my mom to get me a sketchbook. Actually, that's incorrect. I got my sparkly pink unicorn sketchbook. It was a notebook, not a sketchbook. I used it as a sketchbook though, but I just filled that to the brim, and like the back cover fell off. So that's how I started my art journey. And then I was like, hey, let me just post it, cause like, you know, I want my art to get recognized. I want to be famous. I'm kidding. That's not what I thought. But I just wanted my art to get recognized, cause I just wanted to be known, you know. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Shinobu Bleach, who is like my favorite Bleach fan ever. She's like so wholesome. Like, go subscribe to her right now. And before I get talking about the lore, I'm just gonna be saying that I kind of traced here, like in this artwork of my like OC's weapon, I kind of traced. Okay, I traced, but it was my own artwork, so technically that doesn't count as like stealing art. Okay, so leave me alone. So Annie and Malory, they're siblings, right? As I was saying, Malory dies, she explodes, and Annie's heartbroken, and she collapses on the sidewalk, and then her friends find her there because they're wondering what happened, and everyone is just like shocked. And so Annie just falls into depression and doesn't do anything for like weeks, months on end, and she's just flabbergasted. She doesn't know what to do. And so yeah, I will not be talking about Annie's backstory or Annie's redemption arc today, because this episode was all about Malory. Okay, maybe next video, if you guys like this video enough, like if I get enough views on this video, maybe then I'll do a backstory thing on Annie and tell you guys what she did afterwards. but that video would probably have to be 30 minutes without all my interruptions. I realized I did not talk about the drawing once, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was just making a character sheet and I was just drawing everything out from like the full body and the expressions and then her weapon, her tool. I'm not gonna explain what it does, or maybe I will. Okay, so it's like a cyberpunk thing and you can click buttons on it and then it like pops up a panel like your average like cyberpunk like tool board VR thingy. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys for listening to my yap session. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for the recent views. I love all of you guys, and goodbye.